A long, long time ago, in ancient Persia, there lived two brothers. The older brother was named Kasim, and he was a greedy, wealthy man. The younger brother was named Ali Baba. He was very poor but kind-hearted. Their home consisted of nothing more than a rundown hut and 3 donkeys. Ali Baba earned a living by chopping wood. One day, while Ali Baba was in the forest, he encountered a group of thieves. He was terrified and quickly climbed a tree to hide. He counted them: 1, 2, 3, 4. There were a total of 40 thieves. This group of thieves arrived at a pile of rocks, and their leader recited, "Open, sesame." In an instant, something incredible happened. The large rocks slowly moved, revealing a door. It turned out there was a cave here. The thieves entered the cave one by one, and the cave door closed automatically. Ali Baba could hardly believe his eyes. Soon, the cave door opened again, and the thieves emerged from inside. The leader of the thieves recited, "Close, sesame." Just like before, the large rock blocked the entrance to the cave, and the thieves departed on horseback, along the same path they came. Once the thieves were gone, Ali Baba immediately climbed down from the tree. He walked up to the pile of rocks and tried saying, "Open, sesame." The cave door indeed opened. To his astonishment, the cave was filled with heaps of gold, silver, jewels, and coins. Ali Baba laughed heartily. "Haha, now I'm a wealthy man too." He quickly filled several bags with gold and loaded them onto the backs of his donkeys to take back home. After returning home, Ali Baba shared the whole story with his wife, who was overjoyed. Ali Baba then thought for a moment and said, "Let's not get too excited just yet. We can't let anyone else know about this. We need to dig a hole and bury the gold as soon as possible." Ali Baba's wife pondered for a moment and nodded. "You're right, but we should weigh this gold first to know exactly how wealthy we are." She made this suggestion because their household was extremely poor and they didn't have any weighing scales. So, Ali Baba's wife went to borrow a scale from her sister-in-law. Kasim's wife, however, was skeptical, thinking, "They are so poor. What could they possibly have to weigh?" So, she intentionally dripped a few drops of honey onto the scale's pan. After Ali Baba had finished weighing the gold, he returned the scale without noticing that a small piece of gold was stuck to it. When his sister-in-law saw this gold fragment, she was very surprised and mentioned it to her husband, Kasim. Kasim became consumed by jealousy. He angrily ran to Ali Baba and demanded, "Brother, you must tell me where this gold came from." When his brother inquired, Ali Baba shared his incredible encounter with him. Upon hearing the story, Kasim started plotting, thinking, "These treasures should rightfully be mine." The next day, Kasim, accompanied by a group of donkeys, ventured into the forest early in the morning. He arrived at the pile of rocks as described by Ali Baba and recited, "Open, sesame." The cave door obediently swung open. Upon seeing the vast amount of gold, silver, and jewels, Kasim was overwhelmed with excitement. He began selecting and filling all the bags with treasure, preparing to leave. However, when he reached the cave's entrance, he couldn't recall the incantation to open the door. It was at that very moment that the thieves returned. They were infuriated when they saw Kasim and immediately killed him, leaving his lifeless body in the cave. As night fell, Kasim's wife grew increasingly anxious as her husband had not returned. She ran to Ali Baba in distress and cried, "Ali Baba, Kasim went into the forest early this morning, but he still hasn't come back. What should we do?" Upon hearing this, Ali Baba immediately rode his donkey to the cave where the treasure was hidden. There, he discovered his brother's lifeless body and felt deep sorrow. However, Ali Baba managed to compose himself and brought his brother's body back home. Upon returning home, Ali Baba sought to console his sister-in-law, saying, "We must find a way to keep this a secret, or we could be in big trouble." Kasim's house had a clever and capable maid named Morgiana, who became Ali Baba's maid after Kasim's death. Morgiana spread the word that Kasim was seriously ill. Finally, when the family announced Kasim's death, no one suspected anything amiss. A few days later, the thieves returned to the cave and were shocked to find the body missing. Their leader was furious, saying, "Humph, our secret has been discovered. We must find that person and kill him." He then sent one of the thieves into town to inquire about any recent deaths in the area. The thief overheard people talking about Kasim's funeral on the street, and he learned about Ali Baba's home. He marked Ali Baba's door with a white sign. This marked door would become a pivotal moment in the unfolding events of the story. The following morning, Morgiana discovered the mark on her master's door. She thought, "This must be the work of the thieves, and I cannot let them succeed." So, the clever Morgiana marked every door in the town with the same sign. That evening, the thieves came back to the town, only to find that every door had the identical mark, making it impossible for them to locate Ali Baba's house. The leader of the thieves was furious and ordered that the thief responsible for marking the doors be captured and executed. Soon, another thief entered the town in an attempt to find Ali Baba's residence and quickly succeeded. This time, he used a red pen to mark the door's corner, thinking it wouldn't be noticed. However, the astute Morgiana once again saw through the thief's scheme and marked every house's door corner with the same symbol. The thieves were outwitted once more. The leader of the thieves, unable to contain himself any longer, decided to personally come to the town. He found Ali Baba's house and chose not to mark the door this time. Instead, he carefully observed the appearance of the house and memorized it. Then, he purchased 19 mules and 38 large oil jars in the marketplace. One of the jars was filled with oil, while the other 37 concealed a thief each. In the evening, he loaded the oil jars onto the mules and once again entered the town. The leader of the thieves successfully found Ali Baba's house. He disguised himself as a friendly merchant and approached Ali Baba, saying, "I am an oil merchant from another city. It's getting late, and I can't find accommodations with my goods. Could I trouble you to stay overnight in your home?" Kind-hearted Ali Baba agreed to his request. The thief leader stacked the oil jars against the wall and whispered to his accomplices, "As soon as you hear me throw a stone, jump out of the jars and eliminate everyone in this house." After a while, Morgiana walked out of the house, having heard voices coming from the jars. She realized that these thieves were discussing how to kill Ali Baba. Morgiana, quick-witted as she was, thought, "I must find a way to save my master." she immediately came up with a brilliant plan. She took the oil from the first jar, heated it until it boiled, and then poured the scalding oil into the other jars, causing the hidden thieves to be fatally burned. Morgiana's clever thinking and actions saved Ali Baba from the deadly plot of the thieves. After some time, the leader of the thieves believed the time was right, and he smugly opened the window and tossed a stone outside. However, after waiting for a while, he didn't hear any commotion. He rushed to the yard and discovered that all his subordinates had perished. He was both angry and terrified, thinking, "This is terrifying. Could Ali Baba be a wizard? Now, I'm the only one left, and I can't stay here any longer. I don't want to end up like them." So, the leader of the thieves fled by climbing over the wall. The following day, Morgiana recounted everything that had transpired to Ali Baba. He was utterly astonished. He looked at the beautiful woman before him with deep gratitude, saying, "Morgiana, you saved our lives and helped us escape such great danger. You are a clever and courageous girl. Thank you for listening, and I wish you all a wonderful evening."